Welcome, everyone. I'm Lori from Kale. We're so glad you've joined us for this session, UpskillOK, a pioneering initiative by the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. Before we get started, I'd like to share a couple quick housekeeping tips. Attendees are muted, but please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box. And with that, I'd like to welcome Tracy Romano to begin the presentation. Hi, Tracy.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Lori. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Tracy Romano. I work for the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. My title is Manager of Academic, Online, and Workforce Development Initiatives. Every state has a state board of regents, and you're either governing or coordinating, and Oklahoma is coordinating. Just a little bit of background before we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see my presentation. Oh, and I wanted to mention too, if you have a question, I'll try to monitor the chat as best I can, but if I miss it, we'll save it till the end, and I can go back to a certain slide or something if that's helpful. Okay. I hope everyone can see my presentation. So I'm here to talk to you today about UpskillOK, career-focused credentials. And as I said, I work for the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of background about some of our priorities with this initiative, because it is in our strategic plan through 2030 for Oklahoma. We're trying to fill some of the critical occupation shortage areas across the state. We have lots of job openings. We don't have a lot of good skilled workers to fill them. We have some that we're looking to add to that pipeline by promoting and creating programs that businesses have told us are important to them to fill those skill gaps in those emerging technologies. The innovative recognition or the digital badges, I think everyone's using them now. I see a ton of them shared on LinkedIn for people that have finished courses and such and have achieved a badge. So that's the innovative recognition. And I'll talk about how that works with the resume a little bit later. We're trying to identify skills and outcomes that the employers care about. So we do encourage our institutions to work with their community industry partners or relatively close there and try to develop programs for some of these skill shortages to help upskill their workforce. Whether you're a lifelong learner or you're looking forward to professional development or you're looking for training for some of those emerging technologies, micro-credentials are the way to go. It's just a short bit of learning that you can do in days, weeks, or months. And they can lead to incremental, stackable credentialing and professional development pathways. So we do have some that have a number of credentials that stack together or then stack towards a degree or some kind of certification. Each state can have their own definition of a micro-credential. In Oklahoma, we have termed ours as short-term learning programs comprised of a coherent set of measurable, non-credit bearing activities or projects or up to 9 hours of credit-bearing courses that provide specific career critical skills, competencies, and knowledge that can be readily transferred to the workplace. So we have over 400 programs right now in our portfolio. Some are credit, some are non-credit, some are a blend of both, which makes it a little bit difficult at times to do some of our federal reporting. But we want to give as much variety to the learner as possible and as much accessibility and maneuverability within the program for the employers that we're working with. There are many things that you can embed within a micro-credential beyond just a 4-credit or a non-credit offering. That is the basis, but you can also add on top of, for instance, a 4-credit course, you might add a professional experience or possibly a presenter at a conference or a research paper, a project. Non-credit offerings, like I said, you can embed that in there and add these as well. If you are a participant, anything that's embedded within the micro-credential has to have a form of assessment. So we're not going to award a micro-credential for someone that just shows up one day. It needs to have a form of some kind of measured learning or assessment included in the building block as part of the micro-credentials. Yeah. Right, I was going to highlight, and I wanted just to share this. Excuse me. share this video with you real quick. So I'm going to escape out of this real quick and stop sharing. Okay. And I want to share another screen with you. Thanks for bearing with me. Oh, well, it helps if I. Here we go. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry. This is our groundwater program that we have with Oklahoma State University. This is a non-credit program that is online. So anyone coming in just off the street that is interested in learning more about residential or commercial drilling, groundwater drilling, can take these courses and become an expert. So I'll play the video. Oh my goodness.
Once everything's perfectly organized,
I
I'll
apologize.
start working on my thesis.
I'm not sure what happened.
Credentials are a very new
Apologize.
way of thinking about training future generations of the workforce. So it's kind of not traditional to go to a university just to learn a few skill sets. You earn an entire degree. But with micro credentials, you can get the little pieces you need to be more successful in your field.
I think that we've opened our doors to an entire new market of individuals who may have never thought that college was right for them, but now they would see, I have an opportunity to complete a short-term learning opportunity, one that I know is connected to what an industry partner needs, because we've done that work of connecting the institutions with those industry partners and employers to create something that matters.
We had industry coming to us and saying, how do we develop training right now to meet this immediate need? And so I had a conversation with Robert Keys, and he is very heavily involved with the National Groundwater Association. I mean, he is very enthralled in the pulse of the groundwater industry.
And so these certifications will not just give you the basis of drilling of whatever industry you're drilling in. At any juncture along the way, they can then cross over and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I can become a professional. Maybe I can be a geologist or hydrogeologist in this through this whole program.
So when they graduate, they now have a resume full of not just a degree and theoretical foundational knowledge. They have real, tangible, practical, applicable skills that they can use first day on the job.
Thanks so much. Let me switch back to my other program. Sorry. All right. Bear with me. I apologize. Okay. Oops. I'm a little befuddled here. Pardon me. Let me get back to where I was. All right. Thank you. I apologize, everyone. I'm actually in a very small town here within the state of Oklahoma preparing for another event, so I'm kind of out of my element, so I appreciate your patience with me. Another program, and I won't show the video because we've spent enough time with the other one. We have 5 of our schools that are offering some type of drone mapping or piloting micro-credentials. We do encourage our schools across the state, even if one school is offering a particular program, that they go ahead and offer the same as well, because based on their demographic, someone might want to find a location that's closer to them. All the programs are different. Some are for credit, some are non-credit. One school, Rose State College, has partnered with the Midwest City Police Department, and so they're training a lot of their police officers on this type of training as well. So we use it in farming, we use it in real estate, we use it for wedding filming, all kinds of things. So there's just a number of things that you can do with drones, but we're pretty excited about this program, and we really enjoy the students that go through the program and all the good things that we hear. So if you go to our website, and this is actually the Credly page. So we do utilize the Credly platform for all our digital badges, as well as our Oklahoma Career Tech also utilizes this platform, and there are others. But the picture on the left is an actual digital badge from Oklahoma City Community College, a computer support. You see the description of what they will be learning as they're going through whatever programs are involved within this micro-credential. So the description of the micro-credential itself. Below that are the skill tags. So these are what will be attached to their name that are embedded within the micro-credential learning outcomes that will be added to the right. And I'll go over that in just a second. And then underneath that is the earning criteria. So this one in particular has 4-credit classes. You can actually link the class back to a certain page on their landing page to talk about the class, or the micro-credential page where the student can get as much information before they sign up. The picture on the right has to do with the skill tag. So as an employer, you can go into the talent directory, and we have this on our website. You can search for a specific skill, and then anyone that's taken a micro-credential that contains that skill will be on the right-hand side, or will be in the talent directory. You can click on that person's name, and whatever information they have provided to you will be placed there, as well as any digital badges that they have decided to share. You can contour this page to make it as public or private as you would like. So it's a really good feature to have for people that are taking these micro-credentials. It just gives them access to other people if they're looking to find someone to fill a position, or like I said, for an employer as well. So this page, this is actually my boss's earner profile. So this is his portfolio of digital badges that he has earned in various different places. He could actually take this to a job interview, and show this to the potential employer and let him know that besides whatever education he has earned, whether it be career tech or higher ed, he can show them a list of other skills that he's obtained through these trainings with these digital badges. On the right, Credly does authentically verify and lets you know when it was issued, who issued it, who it was issued to, and the date that it was accepted, and it is authentic. But going back to the picture on the left, he can take this actual portfolio on a job interview, or he can take the URL, which is behind each digital badge, and actually put that within his resume, either a picture of the badge or just the link itself. He can use certain buzzwords if he wants to link a certain badge to a word, for instance, critical thinking or data analytics. And then this information can be embedded in there if he's sending the resume electronically. So we tell our schools when they're talking with their learners, when a student receives a micro-credential, they receive a email from Credly to set their account up, and we ask them to set it up with a number of emails, their personal email, their work email, and their school email. So if they leave one place, then they still have access to their information. So they receive this email. They can decide how public or private they want their badge to be. If they don't want anything shown at all, if they don't want it in the talent directory, they make it private, and that won't show up. If they decide to make it public, they can share it on X, they can share it on Facebook, they can share it on LinkedIn. They can put it in the email signature, in their email signature, or they could just download the image, like I said, and save it. As that portfolio page was for Brad to take to an employer for either a possible advancement or a potential job that they're looking for. And here on the right, he has actually shared that he has earned this Credly badge on LinkedIn. I don't know if you guys are on LinkedIn very often, but I see a lot of people post different badges that they earn for different trainings that they've gone through. So this is our third year as part of this strategic process. And each year, the legislature has appropriated $1.8 million to us to distribute out to the schools. So as I said, we're in our third year. Each of the funding packages that we award, half of it is required to go to scholarships. So for instance, if we send a school $50,000, 25 of it needs to go to scholarships. And then the other 25 can be for faculty development, program development, interactions, or maybe work groups with employers, or they can decide to award more than half to student scholarships, but at least half does need to go to the students. So as I said, we have over 425 programs where we're going to 26 campuses across the state, and we were working with over 160 industry partners. All this information is on our website, and I invite you to go and check it out, and reach out to me if you have any questions or like to hear more or just want some more general information. So some of our offering trends, the most popular ones, and probably if you're an educator, are the same. Information technology, anything to do with cybersecurity has been very popular. We are doing a very large initiative at this time for alternative certification for teachers. We have a teacher shortage here in Oklahoma. So we're trying to find more talent that way. So we're offering quite a few offerings in education, as well as criminal justice and project management. That's always a very popular one. As I said, we have some online programs. We do have classroom environments as well and hybrid. And then we have ones that have multiple. So whatever way works best for you, that's the one that you choose. We receive 20 or more requests a month, sometimes a lot more and sometimes not as much. It's just according to the time of year and whatever one finishes on time. And last year we did issue 6,500 digital badges for the work that was done with our learners. And this is across the state. So this is anyone in the state of Oklahoma that is on the Upskill website that has completed a micro-credential. So this is a picture of our website. We've updated it since then, but there's a funnel for employers, as well as students and employees and institutions. So there's a contact button. If you send a message, press that button, it'll go straight to my inbox, and then I can address it at that time. We have some employers that reach out and want to partner with a school. That's a perfect way to get a hold of me. Each tab will explain something different about the micro-credential. Obviously, the students and employees talks about what a digital badge is, how it can be used, how it can help them with their job or a job that they're looking to be hired for. And the middle portion is the micro-credentials. So if you go on the main page or any one of the page and click on the micro-credential buttons, you can see the micro-credential listed. They're listed in the order they were added. So the newest ones are first. You can search by the program, the campus, delivery method. You can actually also search by, if you're looking for something in particular, like for instance, business management. You can go, you can look at all the micro-credentials that are listed for business management. This is downloadable. So if you just want to list all of them, you can print that up in Excel, CSV, or a PDF form, whatever works best for you. And then on the very right is when you go to view a particular badge, and it was kind of like the screenshot from the other one before, which is here, still the computer support for Oklahoma City Community College. It's going to give you information about the program name. It'll show you the digital badge, how long it will take to complete it. It'll give you the URL to the institution's landing page where you can find out more information about getting signed up. It'll let you know if it's for credit, and it'll let you know if it's tied to an industry partner. It will also let you know if it's stackable. So if it's a 4-credit course, for instance, it might be stackable to an associate's degree in nursing or some kind of healthcare profession or something. So it gives you a lot more information. So that's helpful there. So I just listed a few samples of some of the programs that we have. And as I said, we do encourage our schools to offer multiple things that might be offered at a different institution across the state because of just how it appeals to someone closer to a certain city that might want to take something closer to them, or if it's an online, then they can take it from anywhere. Some of our more popular programs I've put here, I've added Cameron's has agribusiness sales training. And remember, demographically, some of these programs are going to be contoured based upon where they are in the state. Carl Albert State College has offered a couple of different offerings, as well as Eastern, East Central, Murray State, and Connor State College. So there's just a plethora of choices here, a lot of different programs. As I said, some are with industry partners, or some are just have just been put together by the university based upon what the students have asked for. So like I said, just a bunch of variety based upon what your needs are. A few more programs. Northeastern State has applied operations management. Oklahoma State University, OSU OKC, has a court reporting portfolio, as well as Tulsa Community College. So they both offer courses in court reporting, which has also been a critical occupation shortage. It's not actually listed on the list, but we were actually notified by the Oklahoma Bar Association to put some programs together because of the shortage of court reporters. We have OSU IT has a couple of different programs. They have fiber optic technician. Theirs are all classroom environment. This is like a career tech style college, 2-year college that's been very popular. They have some very unique programs with some high schools, and even partnered with career tech. If a student takes some kind of course at the career tech and can pass the assessment at OSU IT, then they can receive college credit and then further their education in that regard and end up with an associate's degree. One of the other aspects, most of our non-credit offerings are offered through Coursera. So we have 7 of our 26 schools that have partnered with Coursera that offer Coursera trainings. They're very contoured and very reputable based upon the offerings that Coursera has. So this also enables the institution, if they don't have a faculty member or they don't have the resources for it to teach like a CompTIA course certification and such, then they can go through Coursera and the person can earn this credential and then also receive a digital badge from us as well. Another one of our programs. So our first allotment of funding that we receive from appropriations, we send out, and then the next group is special project grants. So last year we did one on detention and correction officers, and we actually had 8 schools. I only had 5 that I could fit on this page that partnered with us and the Oklahoma Department of Corrections to come up with different programs for either potential employees or current employees to help with skill building. And like I said, they're all over the state. So they partner with different law enforcement areas. Some are for credit, some are non-credit. So it kind of opens a lot of variety for somebody that's looking to advance in corrections or detention. And they can get preferential hiring for completers. And we are requiring also this funding that they try to provide as much open educational resources, which are freely accessed information where the student doesn't have to buy a textbook. So we also ask for that as well. So that helps with the cost of completing the training if there is no scholarship money left to dole out for these programs. One thing I would like to mention is just kind of a neat idea that we've done in one of our towns in Claremore. They actually partnered with the town of Claremore, and the town of Claremore is offering this community grant to anyone that lives in the county where they reside that can apply for this program and take any one of these micro-credentials that Rogers State University offers. So I think that's a really unique program. It's just something to think about, and I'm really glad that the city of Claremore was able to work with Rogers. That is the end of my presentation, and I would like to stop sharing. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So I will stop sharing now. And I'm not sure we had any questions in the chat. Okay, perfect. Someone can see.
Oh, yes. Let me just check real quick. We do have one question. Are you creating content or facilitating?
The institutions create the content. We are just facilitating. So basically, UpskillOK is a repository. So it's a repository of everything that's offered across the state. Institutions can issue their own micro-credentials. They don't have to be on Upskill. This is just a free market, a way to market them with other offerings throughout the state, and just another way to expose what they have to provide for learners that are interested in these types of skills, learning these types of skills.
Give it just a couple more minutes, Tracy, and see if anybody else has any questions. You can either put them in the chat or the Q&A.
I realized that I went through that quickly. I hope that if you're working on micro-credentials in your state, that you will reach out. We always love to collaborate, share ideas, and hear new things that other people are doing with this initiative. I read articles all the time about workforce and these micro-credentials, and we always look to join with others and hear what they're doing and how it's going in their state.
And we had a comment from Trish who said, very impressive what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
would agree.
Thank you.
And I think that's all we had. So I'm going to say thank you so much, Tracy. You're a wealth of knowledge. Attendees, please complete the evaluation attached to this session. Your insights will help us shape future content. And thank you for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.